God's morning. Yes, yes, yes. I'm here. I am about maybe 10 minutes late, and I apologize for that because I know some people are very sticklers about time. I'm actually one of those people, but I had to get my mom right this morning, y'all. I had to get it all the way right. And you say, well, Kay, what's going on? It's first thing in the morning. Like, what's going on? Well, I have a big meeting today, and it's a big meeting, and it, one second, guys, and it has me definitely thinking. I laugh at people in our city, Philadelphia here, the way they drive, and then they get mad when you have the right of way and you take the right of way. But anyway, good morning, Pastor Wanza. And so I said this morning I wasn't going to let this big meeting at 9 a.m. deter me from going live. I'm going to just keep it moving and get it done. And I'm asking you guys to pray that I find favor in this meeting. I'm sorry, that I find favor in this meeting because I need some things to change. So, in this morning's God's Morning Chronicle, I want to say to you that it's been good to be back. It's been good to be back. It's been good to be. It's been good to be sharing. And when I listened to my video yesterday, and where I thought I was just all over the place, it didn't really make sense. It didn't go together. It wasn't cohesive. It really was. It really did make sense once I listened to it. And so I was very grateful for that. And so this morning I said, what is it going to be? Because I woke up and I heard the song again. And I really had this thing on my heart to sing it. But, when you haven't sung in a very long time, you don't just start belting stuff out. And the song is, it's just another day that the Lord has kept me. He's kept me from all evil with my mind stayed on Jesus. It's just another day that the Lord has kept me. And that's the song that I keep hearing in my spirit and waking up and finding ways to be grateful. Even in the midst of the situations that I'm going through, I'm finding ways to be grateful. Like this morning, I woke up. And one thing I despise is, guys, putting out the trash, right? I feel like I should not have to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't even care if I lived alone and didn't have any children. I would want somebody else to come put the trash out, right? Oh gosh. But anyway, I was grateful that I had trash to put out. I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but I was grateful that I had trash to put out this morning for the city of Philadelphia to pick up. Why? Because I could have nothing, and I had to get grateful. And as I got to the car, I was grateful that I had the car. Because when I got my car, I really didn't tell a lot of people that I got the car, but getting my car was a miracle, and I was grateful. One Saturday, my son and I, we got up, and I said to him, I said, Mommy has a certain amount of money in her pocketbook, and we're going to go get a car. And he was like, well, is that enough? I said, oh, of course not, but we're not going to use any of that. We're going to have breakfast with that. He looked at me. We took an Uber, we went to the dealership, and we left with a car. And so I had to reevaluate, even when your heart is broken, and even when you are going through um, your storm, your version of hell. You have to sometimes look around and realize that I still have something to be grateful for. Like I told you guys on the table when I had my surgery for my little toe, didn't know that it was a big deal. Didn't know that all that had to bring me back, and the, shock, and what did they call it, epi, whatever, all of that for the heart to start. I had to realize this morning, sis, you got to be grateful. You know, you may not always feel like it, but you have things to be grateful for. And so I was so excited that I woke up with a heart of gratefulness because yesterday, guys, it was heavy. It got heavy. It really got heavy. First thing in the morning, phones start ringing, problems start coming, things that moms have to solve, and all of those things. And I just was like, I don't want to deal with this every day. I don't want to deal with all this every day, everything just being so pressureful. And so I said, well, this morning we're going to do differently. I got up. I was not in prayer, let's say like a really long time. But I prayed and I told God to help me on today, because if you don't help me, it won't get better, simply because I need you to step in, and I need to feel you. I need to get our relationship back on track. God, my heart is breaking and I need it to start mending, because God is the only one that can put something that is shattered back together again. Sometimes there are things that are broken and we have the ability to pick up all the pieces and then start putting them together and start mending things back together. Like you get the crazy glue and you start to put the vase back together. But when something is shattered, it shatters into so many pieces. There is no way you're going to be able to put that back together. But thanks be unto God who gives us the victory. I know that God can put all shattered things back together. And so I said, what are the next steps? I did my pro and my con list about the things that I love about me and the things that I dislike about me. And I hope you guys did that too, so that I could get to the root and to the bottom of what it is that's causing me the disparity, what it is that causes me to wake up feeling heavy and feeling dark. And so one of those things that I decided to do was start liquidating even more. Like I told you, let's throw stuff out. And like I was telling one of my friends, I was like, I have a closet in my bedroom. And when I moved in the house, I put some things in that closet, like boxes and things. And I was like, well, I'll get to those when I get to those. Well, it's been 2 years now. And that closet, I forgot those things were in there. So what's going to happen is I'm not going to open the boxes. I'm not going to open them to look in them. I'm going to open them to toss the things into a contractor bag. And I'm just going to put it out next week for trash pickup. Because I've lived this long without whatever's in those boxes. It's unnecessary. And that's my topic for today. Get rid of the old so the new can come. Get rid of the old so the new can come. Our priority is to do 21 days of the Jabez prayer. And I'm not doing the Jabez prayer to jump on the bandwagon of prosperity or how to make money and this, that, and the other, because y'all know I've done that. I've done it. I know how to do it. Courageous Faith, let's talk business. Get your business booming and moving. Call KRG Limited. We can get you help, get you running, get you moving. But that's not what it's about. It's about realizing that it's time for a change. It's about realizing that no matter what's happening in your life, you can move forward and your territory can be enlarged, but you can't keep living in the past, fretting over what's broken you or what has disappointed you, and think that you're going to move to the next level. It's a mindset. It's a mindset. Life and death are in the power of the tongue, and life and death is in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. Proverbs 18:21. And we have to get to learning how to, even when scripture is not giving you everything you need, like me, just remember what it already means. Because guess what? Like I've told you in times before, the Bible is a living book. It is not a book like if you wanted to go read a book by Toni Morrison. It's very different. The Bible is the book of life. That's what it is. It can bring you to new heights and new places, even when you're shattered, even when you're broken, even when you have no trust, even when people are trying to show you the best sides of them and that they'll be there for you. And you're leery, that's me. You'll remember that this living book can show you a better thing. It can show you a better way. And so 20 days of the Jabez prayer is what I want to do. I want to make it a thing where it's always in the forefront of the day. Even if you want to do it by, you read it and then you listen to the song, enlarge my territory. I remember one Sunday, that was a song we used for offering. This was back, oh my God, when I was at Kingdom Harvesters. We used it for offering. And the song hit me so that as we were singing it, it was just like, yes, enlarge my territory, God. It's going to be enlarged. And you have to believe that, because nothing will change if you stay in the same way. and you say, okay, Kate, I get what you're saying, but this is happening to me. How do you figure that it's going to get better? Because every time I turn around, something is happening. Listen, I get it. I get it. I understand. I know what you're talking about. Like I told you, a lot of times when I go live, it's not that the storm is not raging. It is. And I had to get some good clarity on why the storm was so heavy. Because the enemy is sick and tired of me as well. He's sick and tired. He's like, oh my God, she done woke up again. She done said she's going to go all the way. She done did this. Oh my God, what am I going to do next? So now that I know that he has an assignment, that he wants to just necessarily just tear me apart, I have to get to the place of, you know what, no, I'm not going to let you. I don't care how dark it is today. I don't care how many tears I cry. I don't care if I have on my mask and the tears are falling behind it and I'm sitting at my desk. I don't care if I'm sitting in this meeting and it seems like it's not about to go my way and the tears stream down, and I'm still going to have faith that God is able, because I know he can do it. I know he can make a way. Even if I'm not in full-fledged belief, I can tell him, God, I'm not really sure, but I know you can make a way. So just like that closet with those things in there that I don't necessarily need and I don't know what's in those boxes, sometimes that's how we deal. That's how our life is running. There are so many things. There are so many boxes that we have in our life. We don't necessarily use them. We don't necessarily need them. This could be a noun, like a person, place, or a thing. We don't necessarily need them in our lives. We don't necessarily have to have them, but we just think that it's a necessity. I've got to have them in my life, or I've got to do this every day, or I've got to go to this particular place all the time because it's what I know. But is it really profiting you anything? What has it brought you in the years of feeling that it was so necessary? I felt when I moved into the house that those boxes were so necessary. These boxes are necessary. I'm going to put them in this closet. I'm going to get everything else together. And when I finish getting everything else together, I'm going to go through these boxes and use these things. 2 years has gone by swiftly. I moved in 2020. It's 2022. Swiftly. Ain't no need, ain't no use for them. None whatsoever. Matter of fact, that's almost 3 years come February 2023. But, it's not necessary. So are some of the relationships that we feel that we need, that we feel have broken us and we can't get over them, are they necessary? They were necessary for the lesson that God wanted to teach us, but was it actually necessary for your life? Was it necessary? I had to tell myself everything that I have gone through. This is what I said this morning. Everything you've gone through, Kay, has brought you to this moment because it is about to open up. The calls are coming. The movement is coming. The get up and go is coming. Your passport, girl, you lucky you got it, because they're going to start calling. It's time to show people that you can heal even in a dark place. And you can come out of that dark place and you can be healthy and whole and delivered. Because one thing I realized last night, while depression is so heavy, there has to be a deliverance from it. A lot of people don't like to put onus on mental health sometimes, as it has a representation towards the enemy and darkness. And I wonder why. Because if the Bible tells us that infirmities don't come from God, they come from the enemy trying to stop us, why would depression not be one of the same things? Why would it not be something that the enemy is trying to attack? If you don't have your mind, you don't have anything. Now, nobody wants to lose a body part or anything like that, but there are things that they can do to replace it. If you use a hand, you can get one. You can get a prosthetic. If you lose a leg or a foot, you can get a prosthetic. You can use a cane. If your hip is out of place, you can get that replaced. But you have never heard of a surgery or anything that man can do for when somebody lose their mind. Nothing. There's not one surgery that nobody can say to you is that, well, if we go in and do this surgery, they'll be within their right mind. Now, yes, you can get a tumor, and the tumor can cause certain problems, and you can remove it. But that's a removal. there's nothing that they can replace your mind with. That's why you have to be stronger than your storm. You have to be greater than the depression. And when the depression comes, you have to look at it differently. I might need to step back and look within myself and see what's going on and see what I need to change, see what I need to do differently. Sometimes that we take mental health for granted. And I know May was mental health month, and here I am, and I'm still talking about it because it's very important to me. I never like to see people lose their mind. When I get emotional with it. When I see somebody begging on the street and then they're talking to themselves at the same time, to me that means they've been alone so long, they've been forgotten so long, that because none of their loved ones or anybody has checked on them in so long. And listen to me, it's not that anybody's always at fault. Sometimes when you retreat into yourself, it's not a good thing. And sometimes it's not a good thing. And sometimes it can be a good thing. But I watch them and I see them and I watch their actions and I see how far they're going. And then I begin to pray and say, God, touch their mind. Mental health is so important. Self-care is so important. Putting yourself first is important, because if you don't do any of these things, you won't be good for anybody that you love. You won't be able to even be good enough for yourself. So you have to get to a place where you're like, you know what, God, enlarge my territory. And when we're going to do this Jabez prayers, we're not asking God this for the next 21 days to enlarge our territory monetarily only. Because I think right now in society and in the kingdom of God, everything is about, let's make this money, let's get this bag, let's do this. And I don't have no problem with it. But I have a problem if you're going after a bag and your soul is lost. I have a problem with that. I have a problem with everything being about money, but you don't realize that your soul is where your wealth is found, is where it is encompassed, is where it's the biggest and the greatest part of you. It's not about the business or the brand that you're building. Don't get me wrong. I want y'all to build those brands. I want y'all to get those businesses. I want you to become employers. I don't want you just to be an entrepreneur, just to sell. I want you to be an entrepreneur that once you're an entrepreneur, then you can become someone else's blessing by becoming a good employer, one that understands what it's like. Great benefits for your people. Become what you're missing when you become an entrepreneur. You know, I've always said when I have the ability to hire, my employees ain't never going to want to leave. Because not only am I going to offer you partnership within the company, that's stock options and things like that. Yeah, I'm dreaming real big. But I want you to want to be there. I want you to want to work. I want you to want, while you're on vacation, to say, oh man, I know I got to check in, but let me just check in. Y'all good? Yes, we're good. You go back and do what you're doing. You get back on that jet ski. We see you when you get back. You know, enjoy your month off. Because this working 52 weeks out of a year and 2 off, oh my God, that's crazy. So let's get back. That was my tangent. So let's get back. If your mind and your body and your soul is lost, everything else you're trying ain't gonna work. If your home is in disarray, everything that you're trying to put together is going to be hard, because you're going to feel like, oh my God, well, where is this and where is that? And how can I get this done? And how can I get that done? And it just begins to get stressful and heavy. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to do 21 days of the Jabez prayer. We're going to move forward. We're going to be successful. And it's going to be a blessing. It's going to make us feel 100% better. Because we can do it. We can do it. We can beat depression. We can beat the lack of trusting. Because these are the healings that I need to do. You know, I need to learn to trust so that I can give God all of the trust that he deserves and he needs. I need to rebuild that toxic relationship that I have with him, of telling him that I believe him, but I'm not so sure. And so I thought about the Jabez prayer, and I said, well, if I ask God to enlarge the territory of here, right here, it's going to get better. And then everything outside will grow. So if inside of the car is lacking, this is where we are. And this is all of the territory that I have. But I want to enlarge it on the outside and just keep moving and moving and moving. I've got to enlarge my heart. I've got to enlarge my mind. I've got to enlarge it so that peace can come in and so that it can pass all understanding. I don't knock making money at all, but I don't want to see souls lost. I think that the kingdom suffereth violence, but the violence take it by force. I think we don't always take that into consideration. That's in the book of Matthew. I don't think we take it into consideration that we have to move violently in our lives when the enemy comes to tear it up. You might be suffering, but are you going to take it back? Are you going to be the warrior that swings their sword and wins? Are you going to allow the darkness to come in and tell you, you know what, you ain't worth it. You ain't gonna make it. Look at this, look at that. They don't support you. They don't do this. Knock that stuff to the ground. Well, my family don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Worry about getting you right. That's what that pros and cons list was about. Brokenhearted, shattered, feeling despondent. Guys, I'm gonna have to go. I didn't realize that my phone wasn't charged. But get yourself to a place where you believe and you know God. I know this was a short live. After my appointment, I'm going to let you guys know if I'm successful. It starts at 9 a.m. My heart is racing, but I'm going to believe God and that it's going to work in my favor. The Jabez prayer. I'm going to do all the outline for it. I'm going to even link the song. And we're going to be blessed. We're going to watch me heal. You guys are going to get to watch me heal. And if it works for you, I invite you to join me because we can do this. Every day we wake up and we still have life. We should be grateful. So be grateful today. I'm going to look at everybody that said good morning and said hello. Just know that if I don't say hello or good morning while I'm live, sometimes if I see your messages right now with the state that my life is in and my mindset, it makes me cry because it's wonderful to be loved and it's wonderful to be checked in on. And sometimes some of you are saying such wonderful things that when I see it, it cries because I'm one of those strong friends that don't tell nobody nothing's going on and that's suffering in silence. And I'm trying to get out of that because a closed mouth don't get fed. And sometimes I might just need a word of wisdom and you may have it. So I want you guys to have a great day. I want you to be blessed. 9 a.m. is when the meeting starts. Um, Keep me in your prayers. I need this to work in my favor. So have a blessed day. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 7:30 and we will talk again. I'm grateful that you joined me. If you can, just hit the share button. Just hit it. Just hit the share button. Somebody might need it. Just hit the button. Keep on moving and be blessed. Have an awesome day.